Dear students, in this video we are going to introduce you BSc 6th semester computer science subject web technologies according to the latest NEP syllabus in the universities of Karnataka. The syllabus for web technologies contains introduction to web technologies, then HTML, XML, CSS, JavaScript, servlets and web security. And this is the first session, and in this session we are going to learn first chapter, that is introduction to web technologies. Under that, some of the topics are covered. Topics discussed here are what is internet, layers of internet, world wide web, web 2.0, web browsers, web protocols and web servers.
Internet is the global system of interconnected computer networks that use the Internet Protocol suite TCP/IP to link devices worldwide. It is a network of networks that consists of private, public, academic, business and government networks of local to global scope, linked by a broad array of electronic, wireless and optical networking technologies. The internet carries a vast range of information, resources and services. ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಖಾಸಗಿ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ಗಳು, ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ಸು, ಶಿಕ್ಷಣಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಿಸಿದಂಥವು, ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಿಸಿದಂಥವು, ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ಗಳು, ಲೋಕಲ್ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಬೇರೆ ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜೀಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇಂಟರ್ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ಅಂದರೆ ಇಂಟರ್ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ವೈರ್ಲೆಸ್ ಬಳಸಿರ್ಬೋದು, ವೈರ್ಡ್ ಕೇಬಲ್ಸ್ ಬಳಸಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಈಗೆಲ್ಲ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲರ್ ಇರೋಂಥದ್ದು ಆಪ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಕೇಬಲ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಇವುಗಳನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಬಳಸಿ ಇಂಟರ್ಲಿಂಕ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ. ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯಾಪಕವಾದಂತಹ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ರಿಸೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಸಂಪನ್ಮೂಲಗಳು ಹಾಗೂ ಸರ್ವಿಸಸ್ಸು ಅವೈಲಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಇದ್ದಾವೆ. ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿ ಡಿಫೈನಿಂಗ್, ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಬಿಗ್ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಫ್ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ಸ್ which spans over the world. Internet connectivity worldwide are owned and operated by communications corporations. Such corporations are termed as internet service providers. ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಏರ್ಟೆಲ್ಲು, ಜಿಯೋ, BSNL ಈ ಥರದವೆಲ್ಲ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವುಗಳನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡರ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ISP ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ISPs ಆಪರೇಟ್ ರೀಜನಲಿ ಆರ್ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವೆರಿ ಫ್ಯೂ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಆಪ್ರೇಟರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ದೇರ್. ದೇ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ದ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಬೋನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್. ಇವರೆಲ್ಲರ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡರ್ಸು, ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಬೋನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಇನ್ ದ ಅರ್ಲಿ ಡೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್, ARPANET ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ NSFNet ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡರ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಕಾಪರ್ ಕೇಬಲ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಇಂಟರ್ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಡಿವೈಸಸ್. ಮುಂಚೆ ಫೈಬರ್ ಆಪ್ಟಿಕ್ಸು, ವೈರ್ಲೆಸ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಇಲ್ದಿರೋದಂಥ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಪರ್ ಕೇಬಲ್ಸ್ ಬಳಸಿ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ಸ್ನ ಇಂಟರ್ಲಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿತ್ತು. ಕರೆಂಟ್ಲಿ ಫೈಬರ್ ಆಪ್ಟಿಕ್ ಕೇಬಲ್ ಈಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಇಂಟರ್ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಮ್. ಸೊ ಫೈಬರ್ ಆಪ್ಟಿಕ್ is the very fastest communication medium. Satellite relay may play more significant role in near future. ಈಗ ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ ಜಿಯೋದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಏರ್ ಫೈಬರ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಇದೆ. ಅದು ನಿಯರ್ ಬೈ ಸೆಲ್ಯುಲರ್ ಟವರಿಂದ ನೇರವಾಗಿ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ ವೈರ್ಲೆಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೂಡ ರಿಸೀವ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಮನೆಗೆ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ನು ಕೊಡುವಂಥ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆಗಳು ಇದ್ದಾವೆ. ಇದೇ ರೀತಿದು ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಮುಂದೆ ಬೆಳೆದ್ರೆ ಸೆಟಲೈಟ್ ಮೂಲಕ ನೇರವಾಗಿ ಮನೆಗೆ DTH ರೀತಿ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಕೂಡ ಸಿಗ್ಬೋದು. ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನೋಡೋದಾದರೆ, ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಹೋಸ್ಟ್ ಎ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ವಿತ್ ಎ ಫಿಕ್ಸೆಡ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್. IP ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ಸು ಫಿಕ್ಸೆಡ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ IP ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ದೀಸ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಸ್ ಕೆನ್ ಹೋಸ್ಟ್ ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ವೆಬ್ ಸರ್ವರ್ಸ್, ಬಟ್ ಡಯಲ್-ಅಪ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸಸ್ ಡೈನಮಿಕ್ IP ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ಸಸ್. ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಗೆ ತೊಗೊಳ್ಳೋಂಥ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಡಯಲ್-ಅಪ್ IP ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ಡೈನಮಿಕ್ಕಾಗಿ IP ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತದೆ. ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಸಲ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ IP ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು. ಸಚ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ಸ್ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಹೋಸ್ಟ್ ಎ ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ಲಿ. ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ IP ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ ಹೋಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಈವನ್ ಕೇಬಲ್ ಮೋಡೆಮ್ DSL ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಮೇ ಆರ್ ಮೇ ನಾಟ್ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ದ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್. ಕೆಲವೊಬ್ಬರು ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸಸ್ಸು ಕೇಳಿ ತಗೋಬೋದು. ದೇ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ದ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ IP ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಆನ್ ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್. ಬಟ್ ಜನರಲಿ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಯೂಸರ್ ಅಂತ ಯಾರು ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಅಂದರೆ, ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಯೂಸರ್ ಈಸ್ ಸಮ್ಮನ್ ಹೂ ಅಕ್ಸೆಸಸ್ ದ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಅಟ್ ಹೋಮ್ ವಿತೌಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ IP ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್. ಹೋಮ್, ಸ್ಕೂಲ್, ವರ್ಕ್ ಆರ್ ಎನಿ ಅದರ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ನ ಬಳಸೋಂಥವ್ರು ಮಾತ್ರ. ದೇ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಹೋಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಎನಿ ವೆಬ್ ಸರ್ವರ್ಸ್. So next we will move to history of internet. ARPA, Advanced Research Projects Agency, was funded by the US Department of Defense. ARPA's primary goal was to keep government's departments connected in case of a nuclear war. In 1969, ARPA released first version of the internet to access. Email was the popular use of it. By 1984, around 100 hosts were connected to the internet, but its use was still required a sponsorship from US government. ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ನ ಪರ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಬಳಸ್ಕೋಬಾಯಿತು. ಅದು ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ರು? ದಿಸ್ ವಾಸ್ ಲಿಮಿಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಮಿಲಿಟರಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸಮ್ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟೀಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫ್ಯೂ ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಕಂಪ್ನೀಸ್, ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಕಂಪ್ನಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ. NSF Net was created in 1986 through funding from NSF National Science Foundation. With better funding from government, NSF Net grew more rapidly, ತುಂಬ ಫಾಸ್ಟಾಗಿ ಬೆಳೀತು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇನ್ 1990 ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಕುಡ್ ಬಿ ಒಬ್ಟೈನ್ಡ್ ವಿತೌಟ್ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸರ್ಶಿಪ್. ಈ ರೀತಿ 1992ನಲ್ಲಿ NSF ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಓವರ್ 1 million connections. It was getting expensive to run NSF Net. So the coordination of the internet was transferred to non-profitable organization called as Internet Society in 1992. You can observe in this image, this is for the diagram of an internet where different networks exist in the internet. Backbone ISP, satellite links, regional ISPs, local ISPs, exchange points. Exchange points are from one ISP to another ISP. The exchange points they may be also be connected through satellite links also. LANs with different speeds are also there. Wireless connections there. You can also observe that web servers or web clients both are connected by this internet. So various network hardware such as routers, switches, hubs, etc., they interconnect the servers and clients. So this is the architecture of the internet. So continuing, we will first see the layers of the internet. How the internet is organized. What is the technology running behind the internet. The modern internet is built upon a 5-layer model. At each level there are protocols that standardize data transmission. Internet protocol is a formal message formats. Internet protocol is a formal description of message formats and the rules 2 or more computers must follow to exchange those messages. To tell in a simple way, protocol is a universally agreed way for computers to transmit and receive data. So this is the protocol stack where physical layer, network layer, internet network layer, transport layer and application layer are organized, in which different protocols are also there in each layer. We will study them each and every one as we move forward. Physical layer protocols defines rules for movement of actual bits ಅಂದರೆ in the form of zeros and ones. So across a shared medium between two pieces of hardware ಅಂತ ಯಾಕೆ ಕರೀತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ, so that may be a computer or router or switch or anything, so that is in between the communication medium. ಒಂದು ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ನಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಗೆ ಡಾಟಾ ಹೋಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ದೇರ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಡಿವೈಸಸ್ ಇನ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್. ಸೊ ಅವೆಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಹಾರ್ಡ್ವೇರ್ ಅಂತ ಟರ್ನ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಹಾರ್ಡ್ವೇರ್ ಇಂಟರ್ಫೇಸಸ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಪರ್ ಕೇಬಲ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಫೈಬರ್ ಆಪ್ಟಿಕ್ ಕೇಬಲ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಸ್ಯಾಟಲೈಟ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ವೈರ್ಲೆಸ್ ಲ್ಯಾನ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಕೂಡ ಇನ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಅವೆಲ್ಲದರ ಥ್ರೂ ಏನು ಬಿಟ್ಸ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಲೇಯರ್ಸ್ ವರ್ಕ್. ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ಕಾಪರ್ ಕೇಬಲ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅದರ್ ತ್ರೀ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಫೈಬರ್ ಆಪ್ಟಿಕ್ಕು, ವೈರ್ಲೆಸ್ಸು, ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಫೋಟಾನ್ಸ್. In short, physical layer protocols are concerned with getting electrons and photons carry digital information from one computer to another. Network interface layer. Physical layer provides a physical bit stream between two computers, but it does not link them in a functional way. The protocols at the network interface layer level are implemented by software and turn physically linked computers into a network. The network interface layer actually links two computers. Network interface card or NIC is a piece of hardware which connects computer to the Ethernet ಅಥವಾ network. Each network card is given a 6-byte hardware address. By convention, each byte is written as a 2 hexadecimal number. ಅಂದರೆ 6 ಬೈಟ್ದು ಒಂದು ಹಾರ್ಡ್ವೇರ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಈಚ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎವರಿ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಸೈನ್ಡ್ ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಚ್ 6 ಬೈಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರೆಫರ್ಡ್ ಆ್ಯಸ್ 2 ಹೆಕ್ಸಾಡೆಸಿಮಲ್ ನಂಬರ್. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಗೆ ಈಗ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಒಂದು ಬೈಟ್ನ ಹೆಕ್ಸಾಡೆಸಿಮಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರೆದಾಗ 0A 51 27 7F 91 BB ಈ ರೀತಿ 6 ಬೈಟ್ಸ್ನ 6 ಹೆಕ್ಸಾಡೆಸಿಮಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ನ 2 ಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರೆದಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಅದನ್ನ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಮೀಡಿಯಾ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್. ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಎನ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸಸ್ ರಿಮೈನ್ ಯುನೀಕ್ಯೂ. ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು NIC ಕಾರ್ಡ್ಗೆ ಬಳಸಿರೋಂಥದ್ದು ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ ದಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಡೂಪ್ಲಿಕೇಟ್, ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬರು ಯಾರು ಬಳಸೋಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಯಾಕೆಟ್ ಹೆಡರ್ ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ಯಾಕೆಟ್ ಡಾಟಾ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಲೇಯರ್ ಅದು ಈ ಲೇಯರ್ ಏನು ಬಳಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಟು ಪಾಸ್ ಡಾಟಾ ಇನ್ ದ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪ್ಯಾಕೆಟ್ಸ್ ವಿತ್ ಲೇಬಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಪ್ಯಾಕೆಟ್ ಹೆಡರ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಡಾಟಾ ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ಯಾಕೆಟ್ ಹೆಡರ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಡಾಟಾ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ಡ್ ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ಸ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ ಓವರ್ವೆಲ್ಮ್ ಸ್ಲೋವರ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ಸ್. This layer is sometimes referred to as data link layer or simply link layer. Internetwork layer. This layer in routers directs packets among different networks based upon IP addresses. Internetworking protocol in each router implements flow control. IP picks an optimal path by estimating minimum number of hops and bypassing traffic in heavy traffic routes. IP packet is stamped with TTL. TTL means time to live in its header, which ensures that after certain number of router jumps, the packet is discarded. So sender sends a packet to the destination, so that is not straight away going. In between there may be number of routers. So if you are not setting that TTL, that packet keeps on jumping from one router to another router and way back, so that forms a heavy traffic. So a TTL is set so that after a fixed number of hops, say they estimate for example, so this number of hops are required for sender to receiver, that will be TTL or plus 1 or 2 additional hops may be required. After that the packet must be expired, otherwise that will form a traffic in the network. The TTL is set at each router. Each TTL is decremented at each router on the way to destination. The TTL is decremented. Once the TTL is 0, the packet is discarded. This eliminates unnecessary traffic in the network. Internetworking protocol does not give delivery guarantee. Delivery guarantee is not implemented here. The delivery guarantee is not taken care in this layer, but it should be addressed in the upper layer if required. So you can see the diagram here. So the upper layers transmits the information to the lower layers. So then lower layer is physical layer, transmits from one hardware to another hardware. Then in that system the upper layers takes the data. Transport layer. Each one can observe in the diagram that physical layer, network link layer and internetwork layer are present in both computers as well as also interlinking devices or intermediate devices such as routers and switches, and also in server or client any systems also. The transport and applications layer are present only in the sending and receiving computers, that is client and server systems. So that is they are built over the hardware layer. So these two protocols are popular. So there are two popular protocols are there, TCP and UDP. TCP means transmission control protocol. It is the protocol used for sending in the transport layer. TCP is usually referred to as TCP/IP protocol suite. TCP sends a message to the server requesting the connection. If the remote server responds positively, then a connection called socket is established between those two computers. TCP segments the file into that has to be sent into packets. Each packet is stamped with a sequence number and also a checksum. A TCP delivers the packet to IP for routing in the internet. The lower level layers route the packet to the destination or client. IP in the client receives the packet and passes them to the TCP. TCP recalculates the checksum. Checksum is very important. That means it specifies if there is any error in the transmission or data loss in the packet. So that will cross-checking the checksum will identify that. The checksum is matched with the checksum in the header of the packet. Calculated checksum is matched with the header checksum in the header of the packet. If the checksums received and calculated does not match, the packet is discarded. The TCP sends back an acknowledgement about the packet status, that is whether it is accepted or discarded, to the server that is which has sent that message with that sequence number of the packet. If required, that means if required means if the packet was invalid, the server retransmits the packet again. If no acknowledgement is received from the client, server assumes that the packet is timed out and it has not reached the client. So again it retransmits the packet. Only if the acknowledgement received from the client to server about the packet is valid, then the packet is not transmitted. Otherwise, server retransmits the packet. Like this, TCP provides delivery guarantee. TCP is an end-to-end service that uses sockets to keep track of the states of transactions and sees them through to the completion. UDP is there. User datagram protocol is another protocol that is used on the internet at transport layer. UDP does not maintain socket connection, it just sends a packet out, so there is no guarantee of delivery. UDP has advantages of less overhead. It can be used in live broadcasting of audio and video with some packets or some information might get lost, but it's still where live stream is required, there UDP is used. You can check in the video in the diagram here. The application layer is above all these things, transport layer is below that, IP is below that, networking layer, then lastly physical layer. So next is final application layer. A network application that initiates communication is called client, and one that responds is called server. Client software requests files from a remote computer or server, and the server software in that computer makes the services or files available to the client. This is how client server model works. Here, application layer contains applications that share files or information with other computers over the network. What are the applications in the application layer means telnet, FTP file transfer protocol, SMTP simple mail transfer protocol, HTTP or hypertext transfer protocol are the application, and there are many more. We will study these protocols individually at the end of this session. Telnet client allows a user to log in to a remote server with a command line interface and execute that system commands from that client. We will discuss these things later also. In World Wide Web, web browsers or web software and web servers or server software combinedly share the data over the internet using HTTP. As different applications in the same computers uses TCP or UDP for communicating in the network, there is a requirement of tracking those applications. ಒಂದೇ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ನಲ್ಲಿರುವಂಥ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಗಳು ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ನ TCPನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ UDP ಬಳಸಿ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತವೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕಿಂದ ಬಂದಿರೋಂಥ ಪ್ಯಾಕೆಟು ಅಥವಾ ಮೆಸೇಜು ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ನಲ್ಲಿರೋಂಥದ್ದು ಯಾವ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಿಸಿದ್ದು. ದೇರ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ದ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಅಟ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಟೈಮ್. ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪಿಂಗ್ ದೀಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಗೂ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಅಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರುತ್ತೆ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್. For this purpose, transport layer uses virtual addressing scheme called as port. Port is a 2-byte integer in the range of 0 to 65,535. Transport layer assigns each network application with a port number. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನೋಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ HTTP ಯೂಸಸ್ ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ನಂಬರ್ 80, FTP ಯೂಸಸ್ ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ನಂಬರ್ 20 and 21 also, SMTP uses port number 25, DNS uses port number 53. These are standard, and other applications may use their random things also. Next we will move to World Wide Web. World Wide Web, CERN, CERN, European Organization for Nuclear Research. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ವರ್ಡ್ಗೆ ಫ್ರೆಂಚ್ ಈಕ್ವಲೆಂಟ್ ವರ್ಡು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಲ್ ಅಂತಿದೆ, ಹಾಗಾಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ವಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಸರ್ನ್ ಅನ್ನೋಂಥ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಷನ್ ಇದೆ. ದೇ ಅಪಾಯಿಂಟೆಡ್ ಟಿಮ್ ಬರ್ನರ್ಸ್-ಲೀ, ಎ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್, ಟು ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಫಿಸಿಸಿಸ್ಟ್ಸ್. In 1990, he developed a hypertext-based document system and outlined the way that physicists around the world could uniformly access the research information. In 1991, CERN unleashed the world's first web server, which served abstracts of physics research papers in HTML documents. End of 1993, there are 500 known web servers, and www traffic constituted around 1% of the internet traffic. Only 1% of the internet traffic was at that time for www. And other protocols might be using the internet also. So www protocol traffic was 1%. In 1994, World Wide Web Consortium, W3C, a body of institutions and companies from all over the world, was formed to set standards for all to use the web. According to Berners, World Wide Web is a global web of hypertext documents. World Wide Web is a massive distributed information reservoir together with an elaborate delivery system that leaves the internet application layer. The domain name service, the DNS. The domain name service is an application layer service that enables us to use the recognizable names to locate servers rather than having to rely solely on IP addresses. A web server is identified by IP addresses, but remembering a domain address similar to www.abc.com is easier than remembering some IP address called as 192.168.10.54. Like these addresses could not be remembered easily, so that must be transformed to a name that can be understood in the English or any other language. The network software that provides the translation service from IP address to domain name is called domain name server. Generally, domain name servers are managed by the internet service providers. You can observe in the diagram that the browser in the internet, the client software calls a website address. That website address is received by the DNS server of your ISP. Then the ISP gives the web server's IP address back to the client browser. Then the browser in the client system again pings back to the web server using IP address. This is how the DNS server works. Next, move to uniform resource locator. Named addresses provide addressing for the web server, but URLs provides how, where and what of a request. That is protocol, that is FTP, HTTP or etc. And like that, domain name and a subdirectory of the page of the document or name of the document, etc. It has to be specified. You can see the example one here written here, protocol named address.com, then directory path to and file name. So this is how the URL looks like. The request for a directory loads a default file in that directory. So a file is in that website is set as default website address. If we call that website address, that file must be loaded. If there is no default file, then the directory contents may be listed, and the request for a file loads that file only. Our HTTP contains many hyperlinks in the pages, so one file may link another file in the same web server. So this works like this. At the same time, some domain names uses an extension that called as .com, .org. Means commercial enterprises use .com, .org is used by an organizations, non-profitable organizations. .net are used by a network. .edu is for educational sites. .gov for government websites. .mil is military site. Like this, different extensions for websites are standardized. Web 2.0 is a very important shift in the internet technology. Of course, it does not significant technology upgrade was not happened, but it shows how the clients can interact with the internet. Because Web 2.0, people can publish their articles and comments on different platforms, increasing engaged content creation and participation through creation of accounts on different sites. It's also gave rise to web apps, self-publishing platforms like WordPress, Medium, Substack, as also known social media sites, Facebook, etc. Examples of Web 2.0 includes Wikipedia, Facebook, X, that is formerly Twitter, and various blogs, which all transform the way the same information is shared. And the following are the some popular examples of Web 2.0. Wikis. These are the websites enables web users to contribute, collaborate, and edit site content. Wikipedia is one of the oldest wiki-based sites. Web applications. These include software as a service, web apps, and cloud computing rather than locally installed programmed services. Mobile computing, also known as nomad city. Mobile computing is a trend towards user connecting from wherever they may be. This trend is enabled by proliferation of smartphones, tablets, and other mobile devices in conjunction with readily accessible Wi-Fi networks. Mashups. These include web pages or applications that integrate complementary elements from two or more sources. Social networking. This is the practice of expanding number of business and or social contacts by making connections through individuals. Social networking sites include Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Collaborative efforts. These are based on the ability to reach large number of participants and their collective resources, such as crowdsourcing, crowdfunding, and crowdsource testing. User generated content. This includes images, writing images, audio and video content, among other possibilities made freely available online by the individuals who create it. Next, unified communications. UC integrates multiple forms of multimedia and cross-media messages, functions controlled by individual users or both business and social purposes. Social curation. This is the collaborative sharing of content organized around one or more themes or topics. Social web content curation sites include Reddit, Dig, Pinterest, Instagram, like this. Blogs can be single pages or groups of pages. They share various forms of text and stories with users and have the capability to of receiving feedback from internet users as well as gaining followers. Video hosting sites. Users can upload their share various audio visual content on video hosting platforms such as YouTube or any other video channels of a fan following, like this. So Web 2.0 has some drawbacks also. There are cyber security risks are there. The increased online collaboration that comes with Web 2.0 puts users at increased risk of downloading malicious viruses and adwares and getting affected by the various cyber attacks such as spam and phishing attacks. Information overload. Web 2.0 is a sea of information that grows instantly. This can confuse readers and affect the readability of the content as the variety and volume of the information are vast. Ethics and credibility. Critics of Web 2.0 maintain that it makes it too easy for the average person to affect the online content, which can impact the credibility. Anybody can post anything. Ethics and even legality of the web content. The extent of data sharing and gathering also raises concern about privacy and security. Next is web browsers. A web browser is an application for accessing websites. That's when a user requests a web page from a particular website, the browser retrieves its files from the web server and then displays the page on the user screen. Browsers are used on a range of devices, including desktops, laptops, tablets, and smartphones. The information is transferred using the hypertext transfer protocol, which defines how text, images, and videos are transmitted on the web. This information need to be shared and displayed in a consistent format so that people using any browser anywhere in the world can see the information. We will see some of the examples. Very first, Mozilla Firefox is a free and open source web browser descended from the Mozilla application suite and managed by Mozilla Corporation. To display web pages, Firefox uses Gecko layout engine, which implements most current web standards. The latest Firefox features includes tabbed browsing, spell checking, incremental find, live bookmarking, a download manager, private browsing, location-aware browsing, and also known as geolocation, based exclusively on Google service. It is available for free to download and easily compatible with various operating systems, including Microsoft, Windows, Linux, Mac OS X, FreeBSD, and many other different platforms. It can be easily customizable. It is also able to integrate add-ons that can be used easily. Next is Google Chrome. Google Chrome has three important properties. It is popularly growing because it has some advantages such as speed, simplicity, and security. Speed is Google Chrome is designed to be very fast and very possible way. It's quick in starting up and from the desktop and loading web pages and running complex web applications very fast. Simplicity. Chrome's browser window is streamlined and clean and simple. Chrome also includes features that are designed for efficiency and ease of use. For example, you can search and navigate from the same box and arrange tabs however you wish. Next, speaking about security, Chrome is designed to keep you safer and more secure on the web, built-in malware and phishing protection. Next is Microsoft Edge. Microsoft Edge is the web browser that developed by Microsoft. It was the first released in 2015 as successor to Internet Explorer and based on Google's Chromium. Edge offers a fast and efficient browsing interface with robust security features and deep integration with Microsoft products and services. Very first advantage is being use of Chromium. Since 2009, Edge uses Chromium rendering engine, which improves compatibility and performance with a wide variety of web pages. Enhanced security. It has protection against online threats and such as phishing and malware. Performance browser is designed to be fast and resource efficient. Then integration with Office means MS Microsoft Office. Edge is deeply integrated with other Microsoft services such as Cortana, Office, and OneDrive. Office Viewer can be used along with Microsoft Edge. Device syncing. It allows users to sync their history, bookmarks, passwords, and other data from different devices through Microsoft account. Extensions. Edge is compatible with variety of extensions. uh, Immersive reader mode. That means it offers a reading mode that simplifies web pages by removing ads and distractions. So the easily readable. Multi-platform availability. It is available for even with even it is being a Microsoft product. It is available for Mac OS, iOS, and Android. However, to enjoy the latest version within Windows, we need to be in Windows 10 or later. So Netscape Navigator and Opera are now we have to speak very less. Netscape Navigator is a proprietary web browser that was popular in 1990s, but it is almost nobody is using Netscape Navigator. Till 2002 it was popular. Then Opera is the popular browser now also. The browser handles common internet related tasks such as displaying websites, sending and receiving email, managing contacts, chatting on IRC, downloading files via BitTorrent, and reading web feeds. Opera is offered free of charge for personal computers and mobile phones. This is the most popular mobile phone browser and is not packaged in desktop operating system. You can download it. Moving to web protocols, these six are FTP, HTTP, HTTPS, SMTP, POP, and IMAP are the very important and popular protocols. Very first, file transfer protocol is the. It is a file transfer. FTP means a file transfer protocol. It is a way to download, upload, and transfer files from one location to another on the internet between two computers. You can use FTP instead of HTTP in the URL of the website. So if that site offers FTP protocol, then you can open it in the FTP site browser. FTP enables the transfer of files back and forth between computers through the cloud. Users require an internet connection in order to execute FTP transfer. FTP client allows a user to log in to a remote computer for the purpose of transferring files from the FTP server. A client can request the service server for both uploading and downloading the files. So next, moving to HTTP. HTTP is a HTTP protocol can be used to transfer the data in the form of plain text. That is what we are using normally. Almost all websites use HTTP. This is the popular protocol we are using. It can include audio, video, text, everything. Allows us to use hypertext environment where there are rapid jumps from one document to another document. Even within the file, we can include hyperlinks. One hyperlink is clicked, one document to another document, we can move further. The HTTP protocol is a request response protocol based on the client server based architecture, where web browsers or robots and search engines etc. act like HTTP clients and the web server acts as a server. HTTP is a connectionless protocol. HTTP is a media independent and HTTP is stateless. These are the popular properties of the HTTP. HTTPS. HTTPS means Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secured. Basically, it is the secure version of the HTTP. Communications between browser and websites are encrypted by Transport Layer Security (TLS) or its predecessor. Secure sockets layer is also used. So you can observe in some internet banking and all. You can see a green mark, and HTTPS is the protocol used for those sites. SMTP is the fundamental protocol that coordinates moving emails around the internet using specialized network applications. That is, simple mail transfer protocol is a application used by mail servers to send, receive, and relay outgoing email between senders and receivers. Next is POP. POP is under SMTP itself. Of course, post office protocol that is used also for sending and receiving mails. But POP used in MS Outlook like softwares that uses mail access. Netscape and Mail uses POP addresses. So post office protocol is used to copy messages from mail server to the local client. Post office protocol is a widely used email application protocol that can be used to retrieve email from an email server for the client application such as Microsoft Outlook. The current version of POP is POP3. POP3 servers set up mailboxes, actually directories or folders for each email account name. IMAP is very popular to nowadays because nobody uses Microsoft Outlook. Nowadays uses everybody uses this one web browser for using accessing their mails. So IMAP is the protocol in that browsers. Internet Mail Access Protocol is there. This copies only the message headers to the client. When the user selects that message header, IMAP temporarily grabs those mails from the inbox to display to the user. Web-based emails you just IMAP where user can see his mails in the browser. Here browser works as a mail client temporarily. Next we will move to web servers. A web server is a software and hardware that uses HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, and other protocols to respond to client requests made over World Wide Web. The main job of a web server is to display website content through storing, processing, and delivering web pages to the users. There are some popular web servers are Apache HTTP server and Internet Information Services in Microsoft. Proxy servers are used to deliver the web requests through Internet Access Server. So this is the very first one is Apache HTTP server. Apache HTTP server is a free and open source web server. It is the most widely used web server application in Unix-like operating systems. It is available for any operating systems, Windows, OS X, OS 2. A handling of it can handle static files. It can use dynamic modules. Auto indexing is there, compatible with IPv6, also supports HTTP 2 also. FTP connections also it supports bandwidth throttling, load balancing, session tracking, URL rewriting, geolocation based IP address, and many more features are supported by Apache HTTP server. Internet Information Server Services is a flexible general purpose web server from Microsoft that runs Windows systems to service requested HTML pages or files. IIS works through a variety of standard languages and protocols. Internet Information Services are used to host ASP.NET web pages and static web pages. It can also be used as a FTP server, host WCF services, and can be extended to host web applications built on other platforms such as PHP. Remote management IIS can also be managed via CLI or using PowerShell. So it is also providing an application pool also. Next we will move to proxy server. Proxy server provides a gateway between users and the internet. So this proxy server can be installed in a internet server of a local network. So this will provides network to the local area system network systems. It is a server referred as intermediary because it goes between end users and the web pages they visit online. Proxy provides a valuable layer of security for the computer. They can be set up as a web filters or firewalls protecting your computer from internet threats like malware and it gives enhanced security because it acts as a security person also. Web browsing, watching, listening, shopping, everything you can bypass through allow through proxy server, but access to location specific content can also be done. Prevent employees from browsing inappropriate and distracting sites also can be forced. This video took very long time, so I'm concluding now, and in the next session also we'll continue to introduction to the